on the phone. A pleasure to welcome back to this program Jamie Kilstein. Now, of course, around this office, we just refer to him as Allison Kilkenny's lesser half, but it doesn't matter. Jamie Kilstein, folks, welcome to the program.
How's it going? Thank you for having me.
Of course, of Citizen Radio. And
I'm always in the background when you're interviewing Allison, just kind of looking like a puppy at the phone, asking if he wants to talk to me next. And then Allison said, he said next time. And then she hangs up, kind of like when you were a kid and like you wanted to talk to your dad who didn't want to talk to you. And you're like just frantically waving at your mom, like, can I talk? And it's like, Dad, he's busy. I'm like, okay.
Well, this is my way of actually getting back at my own father. That's why I do it. Now,
I think that's why every comedian does comedy, right?
Right, exactly. Of course. Father hate, the central tenet of comedy. Now, Jamie, we're all obviously looking to Wisconsin and thinking about that. But in the meantime, what is it about you vegans that are so always looking to pick a fight?
I think I think after decades and decades of being called weak, we have sort of a chip on our shoulder now.
Well, wait a second. Now, for people who don't know, tell us the story. This is a function of our old friend Jonah Goldberg here. I say that because, back in, I think it was in 2005, at the Majority Report, I think at one point we took a live chicken. Jonah Goldberg had challenged Juan Cole to a debate. We invited both of them on the program to debate. Only Professor Cole showed up. Jonah Goldberg was AWOL. So we took a live chicken, or excuse me, a raw chicken, and placed it in its seat in lieu of Jonah Goldberg. So we've been familiar with his sort of boastfulness for a long time. But what is it you're responding to?
Sure. Well, he actually, it's funny you bring up the Cole incident, because he actually, ever since this started, he went MIA from Twitter as well for the last 2 days. That seems to sort of be his strategy. He says a bunch of ridiculous shit, and then people call him on it, and then he disappears, and then he comes back hoping people will forget. So essentially what happened this time, I haven't liked him for a long time, and I not just him, but sort of there was this class of rich, entitled Republican white dudes who have pretty much been handed...
Wait a second. Is there a different class of Republicans?
No, maybe not. The majority of white dudes, rich white dudes, who have been handed their own careers. And they've been handed their careers by parents or by, they've inherited it. They've essentially done nothing to earn where they are, yet those are the people telling us, telling poor kids to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, right? So
now we should tell, just so people don't know, Jonah Goldberg basically, if it wasn't for his mom, Lucienne Goldberg, who was a big right-wing publisher, she is the one who encouraged Linda Tripp to tape the phone calls with Monica Lewinsky. And Jonah has basically, look, I think to a certain extent I'm a helicopter parent too, but Jonah's older than 6.5. And so it could be time for him to sort of try and spread his own wings.
Well, there's a huge difference too between like someone who, look, we don't choose who our parents had sex with, right? Like it's not his fault that his mom did what his mom did, but to then go on and base your career about telling people that they have to pull themselves up by their bootstraps when it's like, dude, your mom and all of her friends were the ones who stole the boots. You know what I mean? Like, don't act like you earned your career, and all of, the 99% of people in America are just, these sort of like leeches. So anyway, he represents that kind of guy. He's advocated the war. I believe that's what the whole Cole debate was. It was about the war in Iraq, defended torture, alluded to assassinating Julian Assange. And the thing with people like him is no one ever calls him out. When he was wrong about the Iraq war, you should, if you're wrong, if you go on TV over and over again and you cheerlead pathetically for a war you're never going to serve in that ends up killing millions of people, ends up killing more American soldiers than Osama bin Laden did on September 11th, at the very least, you should recuse yourself from television for the next 5 years instead of going on to advocate the next war, so say the war in Iran, when you were so completely wrong on the first one. But these television stations and, besides obviously independent media like you and me and Democracy Now!, they keep having these bullies on over and over again. Occasionally there'll be the spirited debate where someone some other Jones guy will yell at him and he'll yell back and nothing really gets accomplished. But they're never really held accountable. And so really recently, Jonah, it showed up on the internet, this video. He was giving a speech, and he said that, this is his quote, "It is a fact of science that nothing correlates closer than stupidity and youth," right? So he's going after young kids. Now, I know a lot of dumb young kids. I know a lot of dumb old people. I know a lot of really smart
wait a second.
kids.
Hold on. I want to stop right there, too. It's a fact of science? I've never heard that at all, actually. I mean, I've heard, what is the fact of science? That people's IQs are lower when they're younger? I don't get it.
I have no idea. I mean, but that's the thing, right? No one will ever ask these follow-up questions. No one will ever. I mean, this happens all the time in the media where it's like you watch the mainstream news and, opponent A will say, X equals Y, and then Republican B will say X equals X, and then the pundit will say, I guess we'll never know. And it's like, no, just ask a follow-up question. Go on Google. Figure out the answer, And so anyway, so he says that, and then he says the fact that young people think socialism is better than capitalism, that's proof of what social scientists call their stupidity. Again, quoting these random social scientists. And their ignorance, and it's something that conservatives have to work harder to beat out of them, either literally, and then he panicked and said, or figuratively, as far as I'm concerned.
So he's now here he is. He's saying that we have to beat this whatever he's calling this stupidity, that there is perhaps a better economic system out of these people, either literally or figuratively. Now, the generous way that one could look at this is that he's just sort of making a joke to try and make himself seem a little bit more butch.
Right.
Because let's be honest, you don't look at Jonah Goldberg and go, I'd be nervous to get into, any type of altercation with him, because he really does. I mean, that kid on Mad Men, who's dating the daughter, looks more threatening than Jonah Goldberg. I mean, for a guy who's talking so tough, I mean, it's almost as if he's come from the mean streets, right?
I mean, first of all, you just had 500 people angrily turn off and go, "Spoiler" for Mad Men.
No, I didn't.
I know. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, technically, he's a big, imposing dude. But he's not, right? Because it's again, someone like that, you just look into their eyes, you look at their face, and they just reek of cowardice. Because no one, again, has ever called them out, and they've never actually had to sort of be held accountable to the things they say. So all I said, I didn't say, hey, I'm going to kick your ass, buddy, or anything like that. I wrote a piece up at Wonket where I said, look, if he truly wants to beat the socialism out of someone, I'm fairly confident I can hold my own. I'm about 4 weight classes below you. I'm a vegan he has gone on record saying that, going out against attacking vegetarians and vegans, saying that, his evidence of why vegetarians are evil is because Hitler was a vegetarian.
Yes, that's not a joke, folks. That's not.
That's true. That means that even Hitler, who was the worst person to ever live ever, was even him. Someone was like, "Hey, you want to eat that chicken?" And he was like, "Dude, that's messed up. That chicken has a family." That's evidence that we're more compassionate. So that's essentially what happened. As I said, look, man, here is your chance if you want to beat the socialism out of someone. And was he probably kidding? Sure, I believe it. I mean, he came out and said he was joking. But these guys really think they can do things. When we had Glenn Greenwald on Citizen Radio, he told the most incredible story about...
Wait, when you had who on Citizen Radio?
Glenn Greenwald.
Oh, okay.
Who you've talked to a bunch. And he had he told this story about Joe Lieberman going to see. Do you remember that weird like action movie with like Gene Hackman and one of the Wilson brothers? Behind Enemy Lines.
Right.
And Joe Lieberman, Warhawk Joe Lieberman, was in the theater, and this is a dude whose votes affect the country, the world, was in the theater, and every time there would be like an action scene, he would literally just pump his fist and be like, yes! And that's terrifying to me. And the fact that these boys, these little boys, these senators, these warmongering pundits, I mean, that's the lives they live. Jonah Goldberg, in his head, thinks he could beat me senseless, thinks he could beat most socialists senseless, right? I mean,
do you think he does? Do you think he does, or do you think that he imagines himself like when he has these sort of fantasies of himself as this sort of rough and tumble? I mean, because this is all part of, I mean, look, this guy has to construct a worldview. This guy has to construct his own sort of bio in such a way that it has to ignore the fact that he had just about every advantage one could possibly have if you wanted to end up at where Jonah Goldberg is today. I mean, now I agree with you. I had tremendous benefit from my parents, and there are many people who had tremendous benefits from their parents, and you can't fault people for that. But Jonah Goldberg wants to pretend, like you said, that he got there all on his own accord. There was no break that he got that nobody else gets. So he has to construct this whole biography and this whole sense of himself that he really was a tough and scrappy. You know, when he grew up, he wasn't sort of like, you know, coddled. He didn't live in the coddled New York. He lived on the mean streets of the Bowery when he grew up, and he was scrapping it out. And so he probably, in his mind, he probably did think that like he's a street fighter, you know, metaphorically, but really. And so he's throwing.
And this is what happens. This is what happens psychologically. I mean, you bring up such a good point where, you know, does he or does he not really think he can beat these people down? And, you know, for years now, I've done mixed martial arts and jiu-jitsu and boxing and Muay Thai and all this stuff. And I can tell you firsthand that when I first showed up at the gym, just like when many people first show up at the gym, they do think it's going to be like the movies where there are so many like hacky comedians who are always like, men always be thinking about sex. And it's like, I guess that's sort of true, but I think more than dudes thinking about sex all the time is we're thinking about whether we're in a bank or a restaurant or a subway car, what would happen if somebody came in and robbed that establishment and how we would defeat them with ninja skills we don't have. Like, I have watched way more martial art movies than I have porn. Like, that is constantly on my mind. And when you first walk into a gym, it's this very humbling experience where you realize that all the things you've pictured you can do in your head, you can't really do. And getting punched in the face kind of sucks. And getting choked out kind of sucks. But what the difference between the people who stick around and who stay in the gym and who bleed and sweat to learn this art form, to learn this skill, and someone like Jonah Goldberg is so I train every day during the week except for Sundays, right? And whenever there's a pay-per-view that weekend, a UFC pay-per-view on Monday, all these big kind of meatheads with their tap-out shirts walk in. And, you know, they've like either gotten into bar fights or fantasized about it. They're like, I want to fight UFC. And then they go in and they can't jump rope for 5 minutes for the warm-ups. They go to the puke bucket. They throw up. They leave. They never come back. And you know that when those little mini Jonah Goldbergs left, they just told themselves, instead of going back the next day and being like, that was really hard, I'm going to try to get better, they told themselves, yeah, well, in a street fight, I just kicked the guy in the nuts. And that's the kind of person Jonah is, where I truly believe that up until he was called on it, up until he had thousands of people tweeting at him from Citizen Radio, from, you know, Dan Savage posted the petition, Ted Leo posted the petition, a bunch of my favorite UFC fighters posted the petition. You know, once that happened and he actually had to visualize actually maybe going in the ring with someone, he panicked. He wrote his classic.
I was joking. You know, now to be fair, the guy is, you know, he was nominated, I think, at least twice for the Pulitzer.
I think he also has 2 UFC titles to his name, is what I heard.
Definitely Pulitzer nominated. Well, I got to say, I'm going to throw this offer into the mix. And people, we have a link to the petition where you can sign the petition. Really, this is just about shaming Jonah Goldberg, but hopefully maybe he'll show up and you'll raise some money for charity. If you need,
and that's what I wanted to point out really quickly is that, again, this was not me threatening him. This wasn't me saying, watch your back, I'm going to jump you in a parking garage somewhere. I want it to be a regulated, refereed, 3 2-minute rounds, which is what you'd fight for an amateur fight. I will not be wearing headgear. Jonah can wear headgear. He can wear shin guards. We have regulation boxing gloves on. If it goes to the ground, if there's a submission, you tap out, the fight's over. It's 100% regulated.
Okay.
And like I said, I am just doing
is this
what he
legal
wanted
in
to
New
do.
York? I don't know if this is legal in New York State. But I will
apply somewhere.
I will for the sake of charity. Listen, for the sake of charity, if Jonah Goldberg doesn't show up, if my mom or his mom will offer to buy me a bit of a fat suit, I will go in lieu of him. But all right, so people.
I'm tweeting this and holding you accountable.
All right. Well, if it's mom or my mom, we'll pay for a fat suit. I'm not sure I'm going to enjoy that, but I'll do it for charity. Folks, the petition is on majority.fm. And also, if you want to see the picture of Jonah Goldberg from our debate, you can Google Jonah Goldberg Majority Report chicken. And you will see the picture. I think it's the first image that comes up on Google. Jamie, thanks so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you. Send Matt my love.
All right, will do.